Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the RFD show. We are so excited because we are going to do our Super Rugby prediction and just our preview of the games. I'm joined by the Jackal. The Jackal, how are you?
I'm doing very good, and you?
Good, can't complain. I'm very well, and I'm just so excited about just this discussion because we have a main event on our hands this weekend. I think this is going to be a big clash, but let's first start with the Super Rugby AU. So the first game is the Rebels against the Reds. Yes, who are you backing? And just please give me a preview why are you backing them?
Okay, so I went the Reds with 8 points
Okay.
this weekend. Having seen they won last weekend against the Waratahs, they won by 6 points. If you look at the history between the two teams, the Rebels just in front with 6 wins out of 10. The Reds with 4 wins, but it's not always close games. There's a couple of close games, but normally like the 10-point difference. But I think with the Reds coming back up to form and the Rebels needing a win, I think it's going to be not that big of a margin. So I went the Reds by 8, just because the way they played last weekend, they impressed me quite a lot. I wasn't always a Reds fan, but the way they play gets me excited for Australian rugby.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so the team lineups is not yet available, which is going to be very interesting to see that. But in the last 10 games, like you said, the Reds won 4 and the Rebels actually 6 in their last 10 games, which is going to be very interesting. I backed the Rebels by 6 points, so I didn't think we're gonna kick it off with already a oppositional fight. But anyway, so I think the Rebels, there's a matchup in this game, like a huge matchup between Matt Moa, James O'Connor, the wings even. So it's going to be interesting. I am fearing for the Reds because of their breakdown technique. And last week when they played the Waratahs, I think it was like between 6 to 0 penalties against the Waratahs. They were very clinical and very professional with getting the ball, getting hands on ball, and so on. So I'm actually I'm very excited to see that, but I'm fearing that part for the Rebels. I really hope that their clean out crew will be there and will clean out prominently. So that's going to be very interesting. Okay, so second game. I mean, this is the main event. If everyone is disagreeing with me, please let me know on Twitter. You can tweet us at RFD, or Rugby for Days is actually our Twitter handle. But this is the main event. The unbeaten sides in the Super Rugby Aotearoa, Crusaders versus Blues. So I'm gonna start this one because I know who you backing. I'm backing the Blues by 2 points, which is I normally do a 6-point margin. That's normally what the case is for me personally, or maybe 5. But I'm gonna back them with 2 because I think it's literally going to be a penalty kick, a drop kick, penalty kick. It's going to be something like that. That is going to be the ultimate factor. Even if the Crusaders beat the Blues, I am calling it right now. It won't be more than 7 points. It will be less than 7 points if the Crusaders are beating the Blues. But I'm backing the Blues. Come on, boys, let's do it. Jackal, come on, tell me why do you think the Crusaders are going to win?
Well, I hope the Crusaders win this time. It's a home game for them, but actually in New Zealand, every game is kind of a home game for the New Zealand teams. New Zealand isn't that big. I went Crusaders by 4 points, so not that much. I also think it's going to be a tight game. Maybe 1 point in between and the last minute try or drop goal, like you said, or something just to get the point. So I'm very excited about this game. The Blues team is a very strong team this year. Very tight knit group. They had a good preseason and the 3 wins. So it's going to be very tough for the Crusaders. it's going to be exciting to see a New Zealand derby and hopefully good running rugby, and just an overall tightly contested game. It's I want that edge of your seat stuff happening in this game.
Yes, I completely agree with you, and I think like we both agree on this. It's going to be a very tough game. It's going to be a derby for the ages, and you know, I think stats wise, the Crusaders are a 1991 team in this competition, because
Yeah.
against the Blues, unfortunately, I'm backing the Blues all for a couple of years now in the New Zealand Conference, but I really hope that they're going to pull it off, and I'm rooting for them. So let's see how it goes. But then the third game of the weekend is actually a difficult one to predict because it's the team you haven't seen in a Super Rugby format for a couple of years, and that is the Waratahs against the Western Force. What do you think about that? Are you excited to see the Western Force in action again?
I'm very excited to see the Western Force back again. They were relegated, but that's the thing. We don't know what's going on there on the western side of Australia. We don't know what the team will look like because when the Western Force got relegated, most of their big name players went to the Rebels or the Waratahs or whoever to get the contract. So we don't know who's in the team at the moment. Again, the lineups hasn't been announced yet, so I'm very excited to see the Western Force back. But having said that, because I don't know who's in the team, I went the Waratahs by 14 points. Just because I know the Waratahs is a team that had a few years together as one team. The Western Force, they dismantled. They're coming back again. I don't know if the continuity is there with the team, and I know the team spirit will be high, but I don't know if there's going to be much to talk about. But who knows? So I went Waratahs by quite a lot, 14 points.
That is quite a lot. I'm actually shocked to hear that. I backed the Waratahs by 6 points. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect from the Western Force, but just the interesting stat that I have here. The last time these two met in a Super Rugby match was the 15th of July, 2017, and the Force actually thrashed the Waratahs by 40 to 11. So, excuse me, it's 29 point difference. I think that was a thumping and a half. But it's going to be very interesting because, like you said, we don't know how Western Force is going to play. It's going to be interesting. I need to say it as well. Is I was very shocked at how poorly the Waratahs played last weekend. I don't think any fans were quite happy with their performance. The Reds really stepped up in that game. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen. But yes, Waratahs with 6 points. Let's see what's going to go on in that game. And then the last game is also quite a big game. It is the Hurricanes against the Highlanders. I am backing the Hurricanes by 6 points. So the interesting part in this game is both teams have 2 losses and only 1 win in this competition. So quite in the middle, if I can say it like that. Basically, yes, it's almost a shot in the dark at the moment, but I'm backing the Canes. I think they played very well last week against the Chiefs. Let me hear what's your thoughts about this game.
Yeah, again, the last 10 games, the Hurricanes won 7 of the last 10 games, and again, it's at home for the Hurricanes. But history shows us it's quite tight games. The last 2 games is quite tight. Only 3 points in it. But yeah, it was a tough call for me. Hurricanes having lost the first 2 games and won the last one, and the Highlanders only won their first game only with the drop goal. So I also went Hurricanes with 9 points, just purely because the way they played against the Chiefs last weekend just showed me they're getting their groove back together. They're getting the team back together. The way they played with Jordy Barrett coming back. Also, everybody, I was excited to see Cobus van Wyk scoring a try or two, I think. So good to see everybody getting together as one team. But yeah, Hurricanes by 9, I think it's going to be a win for them, just purely because Highlanders are out of form at the moment. I don't know what else to say about them.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think I really think the Canes are picking up their socks in this competition at the moment. But yeah, let's just quickly go through the standings before we sign off on this one, and then we will hear from Dan the man, who unfortunately couldn't join us at this moment. So it's Crusaders, of course, on top of the group or the conference in the Super Rugby Aotearoa with 3 wins, 14 points. Blues second, 3 wins, 12 points. So it's just only bonus points that helped them over. The Highlanders is on 3rd place and the Hurricanes on 4th, both only with 1 win. Islanders with 5 points and then Hurricanes with 4. So it's literally a battle for the mid-ground of this competition. Not even if the Blues lose this round, they will still be second. So the Blues can advance.
Yes.
The Crusaders can maybe drop off. It depends. It's literally the main event. But between Hurricanes and Islanders, it's literally who wants to stay in this competition. That's basically it. The team who wins maybe have a chance to stay in this competition against the mighty Crusaders. But the Chiefs, I'm sorry, I don't want to doubt you, the new Blues of New Zealand rugby. That's not what I'm saying. But you're not doing very well at the moment. For all the Chiefs supporters, my heart goes out to you. I've been a Stormer supporter roughly for the last 12 years, and I've been through lots of how can I say it, disappointing seasons. So my heart goes out to you guys as well. But yes, the Jackal, thank you so much for your time. I'm very excited to see this weekend. Any final thoughts maybe just for the weekend, what you're excited about, and then we can sign off and hear from Daniel's side.
I'm just excited to see the players getting back. I would like to see some forwards raising their hands from manager side. It's been backline players and all that, but I would like to see the forwards getting rough in there and getting a good performance out there. But yeah, I'm just excited to watch rugby again. I can't wait for the weekend to come.
Awesome. I'm also so excited. And then we will also do a couple of videos this weekend as well. But that's all from our side. Let's hear what Daniel has to say.
Hi, boys. Yes, sorry, I'm a bit late. Hope you didn't get too excited without me. But yes, I think let's just dive right into it. I'm excited for this weekend's games. The lineups here in front of me, all my picks here in front of me. And I think I'm going to do pretty good. Better than last week, I hope. So, yeah.
I hope so too. I hope the fitness is getting better. Definitely from the Australia side, the teams. But yeah, let's hope for it. So we already discussed our picks, but I'm going to discuss my picks with you as well. So first of all, Daniel, who did you back with the Rebels and Reds game, and why did you back them?
So I love the Rebels. Great team, good combination, good lineup. But I believe that after the loss they had last week to the Brumbies, and the Reds coming off a win, that the Reds is actually on a good form and a good space. And you mentioned James O'Connor, and hopefully he can make some impact. I didn't see if he's playing. I didn't see the lineups. But if he is, then obviously that is a swinging vote. So I believe that the Reds will be the team to back, and I'm backing them by 10.
Reds by 10.
It's a bigger margin, I know, but I'm going risky this round. Go big or go home.
Okay. Oh wow. Yes, that is quite risky. I backed the Rebels, which is I'm hoping for a bounce back with them by 6 points. The Reds by 10. That's quite a large amount, I feel. But yes, community stats after I already heard your pick. Community stats at the moment is Reds in Reds' favor, 59% to 41% for the Rebels. Reds on average by 1.9 points. So that's really, it's less than a 2-point deficit, so basically people are thinking there's going to be a close game. That's basically what they're saying.
I actually wouldn't mind if the Rebels take it. This is the one I'll be happy to lose, because I like the Rebels. I'm a Rebels fan. They're pretty much the underdogs. So I like them. Them and the Force are the underdogs in this competition, but I like the Rebels a bit more than the Force, as the Force hasn't been in the competition a couple of years. So Yeah.
Yes. No, a couple of years. So then let's move on to the main event. Really hyped up this game because this is really the main event. The undefeated two teams are meeting for the first time in this New Zealand Super Rugby. Aotearoa, the Crusaders against the Blues. Let's hear, who did you pick?
So Jock tagged us in a post where you can win a jersey if you get the precise pick of the game. And I think he went like 23-15, I think, to the Crusaders, if I'm not mistaken, by 8 or something. But he predicted the score. And I'm going 28 for the Crusaders and 13 to the Blues. So it's Crusaders by 15 if your math's not that quick. But it's not that the Blues is going to have a bad game. I just think the Crusaders are going to have a lucky day once again. But it's still going to be tight. So it's not going to be like 40-20 like last week. But it's going to be closer. But the Blues won't be in it as much because the Crusaders still have their dominance. So I want the Blues to do good. But I just think this is a Crusaders tournament once again.
What? Are you backing the Crusaders by 15 points?
Yeah. Like I said, go big or go home. Go big or go home.
That's insane. That's crazy. So I'm not okay. Let me reiterate that statement. It's still the Crusaders. I get that. But come on. I want the Blues to win it. Of course I back the Blues.
Okay, listen to my reasoning. Now you know who's in our log and who's in our pool. Now one of our friends, who's I don't understand his rugby knowledge, but okay. He always picks by 12 and he always seems to win. And then he tunes me about it. And then he says, I don't know how to play Superbru. So I'm just taking the trick out of his playbook this time. So I'm just going big and see how this works. But I really think the Crusaders are going to take this one. Not that the Blues have a bad chance at it. If the Blues take it, well done. I'll be the first guys to congratulate them because they have a good team, a good squad, good game plan. I just think the Crusaders are just too well balanced and too well set at this moment to give up what they already have.
Okay, well, that's fair. That is definitely fair to expect. Okay, so I backed the Blues with only 2 points. I normally don't go beneath 6, but it's going to be a close game.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain, but yes, no, I think it's just literally going to be a drop goal or just a penalty. But let's just quickly look here at community stats. For everyone who did not hear correctly, Jock backed the Crusaders by 4 points. Crusaders 84% backed, only 16% for the Blues. Overall pick on average 6.5. So basically a converted try, 7 points for the Crusaders is the average pick on Superbru. That's quite hectic as well.
This is going to be the decider in the pools who's going up and who's going down. Yellow cap game.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you completely with this one. Then let's move on to the exact team that you said we don't know how they are going to play in the first of all. So it is going to be the third game of the weekend, the Waratahs, the Fierce Tars versus the Western Force. Let's hear what was your thoughts about this game?
So I'm doing a safety pick. I'm going Waratahs. I'm not going to give them a big margin. I said by 8. I don't think they have a good kicker. I don't know who's kicking. So I just think he'll miss a conversion and slot a penalty somewhere. And then it'll be 8. And then the Force will have a good game, but not challenging enough. Because I don't know the team. I don't know. I didn't look at it. I don't know any names. I didn't follow up. But it doesn't seem like someone just can come into Super Rugby and beat the Waratahs, who's not even on form, but you still can't beat the Waratahs. So we'll see.
This is going to be interesting because for those who are in South Africa and haven't witnessed the Force play at all, we don't know what they're capable of. So this is almost like a shot in the dark. You're only backing, or I'm backing the Tars as well, but it's literally my safety pick, 6 points. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that the Reds demolished the breakdown against the Tars last week. I mean, it was almost like they are non-existent. So I hope they pick up their game with what do you call it, the rocks, the clean outs, and then just the overall ground game for this game. But it's going to be interesting because, like I said, I don't know how the Western Force is playing, their culture, and so on. So this is going to be very interesting.
I know a couple of guys in the Force side. I'm looking at the lineup now quickly. Jeremy Thrush is playing for them. I think he's a previous New Zealand player, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know Breinhard Stander is, but it sounds like South African. Nick Jooste sounds South African. Marcel Braghi, he played in South Africa, but he's an USA international player. He's an outside center. And then Greg Holmes, obviously the renowned prop, is on the bench. And that's basically what I know. So it's 4 out of the 23. So that gives you an idea. I'm looking at the Waratahs, and I think I'm going to change my pick because of number 22, Carmichael Hunt. I don't rate him at all. I don't like him at all. But yeah, I'll probably stay with the Waratahs. So that's a bit of insight. So Waratahs all the way.
Yes, and then with the last game, and I like what you said before we went into the last game about New Zealand rugby, is that, like you said, the Crusaders and the Blues are the game for this weekend. But the second game shouldn't be written off quite yet, because like the Chiefs have a bye for this weekend. So the Hurricanes and the Highlanders are actually fighting to stay in this competition. At the moment, they are third and fourth place respectively, but I think their points difference is literally just 1 point. So it's who's going to win this game is the team who can still stay in this competition. The other one will, of course, get the fourth place on the pool at the moment, and then maybe the Chiefs can beat them somewhere in the future. So yes, with that being said, I'm just quickly going to start my pick. First, I went with the Canes, again with 6 points. This is a marginal game. I think it's literally going to be like 3 or 4 points difference. It's going to be a really contested game. But yes, that's all I have to say actually about this game. It's going to be an interesting one.
It's just interesting because I'm thinking about last week's highlights, and Kobus van Wyk starting his first game in the Rugby Aotearoa, scoring a brace. I mean, what's that all about? So you're just thinking that sometimes luck can go your way. And I'm also back the Hurricanes, and I also back them by 6. So
awesome.
I think I might just change it just to maybe rob a point from you. But we'll see. I'll probably change it, and then they'll win by 6, and I'll kick myself. So, yeah, and probably before the Rugby Aotearoa started, everybody's looking at this weekend: Hurricanes, Highlanders, 3 games in. This will be the highlight because the Crusaders are playing the Blues, because the Blues wasn't supposed to be this good in Rugby Aotearoa. And now this is just another match, and we all want to see the Crusaders Blues play. So that's quite interesting. And I believe it's going to be a good matchup. We talked about the high names, the big names in all these teams. And the Islanders is the team we haven't really talked about yet in player-wise. So probably after this weekend, if they earn it, or maybe we'll just ridicule some players who didn't play well, and then that's why we haven't talked about the Islanders that much. But yeah, interesting games. I think it's going to be a close weekend.
I think so too. Just to quote a couple of community stats here on Superbru for everyone who's listening. The Canes are being backed 86% against the Islanders, only 14% for them. The overall average pick is Hurricanes by 5.96, so basically 6 points. The same average that Daniel and I picked for this game. So This also just shows you that the predominantly rugby fans are thinking the Canes can do better than the Islanders. But just to mention that, because you said we spoke about the big names and the players in the Blues side, which we're so excited to see as well. Do you think the Highlanders and the Chiefs are at the moment, well, no, let me rephrase this question. Do you think the Highlanders are where the Blues were 3 to 4 years ago, with only 1 or 2 profile names and the rest not actually known yet? Do you think that, or do you think it's just something completely different?
Well,
that's why they're not pitching up?
I'm going to give the Blues a bit more credit, seeing as they had more high-profile names, but they couldn't gel as a team. And they were a good team. It's not like they lost 50 points every time. They were down like 10 to minus, or not minus 10, but 10 and below. They weren't beaten out of the game every time. But I think the Islanders are heading to a place that's difficult to get out of. They're going to go to a place where it's going to be hard to play, not fun to be at. Not going to be Laka being the lowest ranking New Zealand team for a while. But they have to change it around. They have to start recruiting new young talents, as the Crusaders are doing, what the Blues did. So they just have to follow what the Blues have done. So I believe they're heading to the same type of spot where the Blues were, but on a worse trend. And I hope that they can change it. So because they have high quality names, but like we mentioned previous podcast, if money is going to talk, it's going to eat them as well. So that it can only get worse from here.
That is so true. Yes, we'll have to have a look on that matter. What is going to happen in the next couple of years? That it's going to be difficult because yes, that's actually all I have to say about that. I'm not going to dive into that anyway. Daniel, thank you so much for your time. I'm very excited for this weekend games, and then we'll have a blast of a time. Please don't forget, for everyone who's listening, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Please go hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even on YouTube as well. We really enjoy making this rugby content and providing value, and hopefully having good discussions for you to just enter your thoughts as well. Definitely do that on Twitter. Daniel, you can have a question of the day if you wish.
I don't think I have an actual question. Well, yeah, let's do this one. Who do you think is gonna be the top 2 teams in Rugby AU Super Rugby? Bold prediction, 1 week in, still clean slate. We still have to see one team play, so I think it's a reasonable question. Your predictions can still come true, so I believe that's a reasonable question.
That's a great question. That's an awesome question. I love that. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good evening, or to wherever you are. Have a great day, and then we'll probably see you in the next one.